So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. The early bird catches the worm. So I'm assuming if you're here, you're interested in some of the tools I use to really help streamline my business. I'm going to show you, I'm going to dive deep. I'm going to give like an overview of each tool. I'm going to actually go into about half of the tools because of the time frame that we have. I can't go into every single tool. So I pulled some screenshots to help you see how I may be leveraging these tools. And the objective here is not that you have to use every single one of these tools. You just, especially if you're not using any at all, it's about trying to figure out what do I need, and then determining, is there a tool available to use in order to make my life easier, my job easier, maybe the job of my people easier. So this might be, you're going to get the replay of this, and you can always just share this with the people on your team, whether it's, internally or through like a virtual assistant, an executive assistant, freelancers, so they can leverage the tools on your behalf to get things done in a more efficient way and save you money and save you time. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the 9 SaaS tools you need to be using to grow your business in 2023. Now, of course, there are a lot more than the 9. These 9 are very particular to me because I use them. And the problem I see with a lot of individuals and organizations that use SaaS tools is sometimes they don't use them to their capacity. And sometimes that can be hard because there could be a lot of bells and whistles. So for these tools specifically, I'll give you an overview of how I use them and how you might want to use them based on what your needs may be. Okay, so if you don't know who I am, or if you never met me before, my name is Jimmy Newson. I am the founder of Moving Forward Small Business and Jimmy Newson Consultant. I'm also the senior advisor for the New York Marketing Association. I do tons of trainings, talks. I work with clients all over the world. And this really gives me an opportunity, because of the position that I'm in, to see so many different businesses, so many different industries, and understand what is common with them, but also what makes them unique. So it gives me a really nice perspective of how to look at the small business ecosystem, and I include entrepreneurs in there, right? And I even include business professionals, because business professionals can be entrepreneurial as well. All right. So let's just kind of dive right in and just, first of all, make sure that we all have an understanding of what a SaaS tool is. A SaaS tool is a software as a service tool that's hosted in the cloud, offering the customers usually as some type of subscription. Now, I'll give you some of the tools I'll be using. I'm actually going to be using the free version, because the free version will show you limitations to the tool, but still, for what I'm going to show you, you should be able to accomplish this even with the free version of a tool. You upgrade that tool when you no longer, when you need more from that tool, and hopefully that tool is contributing to your bottom line. So there's no there's no hardware to install, no software to install, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. So this really helps, especially if the tool can work across multiple devices, such as your desktop, your iPhone, your iPad. So that comes in, it really helps the situation. So why is it important to use SaaS tools? It's important for small businesses to use SaaS tools because it reduces the overhead costs, allows for scalability and flexibility, and improves customer service and provides real-time analytics. And all these things are extremely important for us. And when we're running short on time and resources, this is why we want to use SaaS tools to help us with our daily tasks and ideas. Okay. How do you get started? That shouldn't say how, it says who, but how do you get started using SaaS tools? To get started using SaaS tools, small business owners should identify which specific functions need to be automated and research available solutions. The first tool I'm going to show you today was based on the fact that I was looking for a way to achieve a goal, and immediately I just decided I just need to find the right SaaS tool. I need to find the right tool that can do this for me, because of all these other benefits that I will also get from using this tool. In particular, it was with my board meeting. After my second board meeting, I really wanted something to help me track my goals and help me be accountable to my goals. And that in itself started a search, and I looked at many tools before I settled on the first tool we'll cover, which is Cascade. Okay. The pros of using a SaaS tool includes, again, scalability, better security, and this is why I like SaaS tools as well, because you want to be secure with the data that you're collecting from prospects, from leads, from customers. But where do we start with that? The tools, that's their responsibility as well to help protect, this information. So they have to have some level of security in their tool when they're collecting this information, which now is passed on to you. It's easily integrates with other services. And this is a big one. When I look at a tool, I also want to look at what else does this tool integrate with, so I don't have to do double data entry. If I can connect this tool with another tool and make my life easier, and I'll give you an example. Right now, we just launched our new membership site, and we use a tool in our website called Paid Membership Pro. And I would, instead of me trying to data dump all my information every time someone signs up for membership into other tools like my CRM, which is HubSpot, and my email marketing campaign tool, which is ActiveCampaign, I want to use tools. I want to see if they have direct connections with each other, or I use what's known as a Zap, to connect them. So now I don't have to go and transfer people from one place to another. Even, and this is a real life situation that we're figuring out. We also have an accelerator that we run that people sign up for in New York City, and we use a Google form. And now, instead of me having to download that email list and then import it into ActiveCampaign and import it into HubSpot, we're creating, again, Zaps to connect all of that. So it just happens behind the scene. So it happens in real time, and I don't ever have to touch that. So this is the beauty of leveraging technology to allow you to just get things done faster. So additionally, you'll be able to access your data from anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. So our downfall will be, unfortunately, if we ever lose internet. So let's absolutely hope we never go back or go to the dark ages, because I think business might be over as we know it today. Okay. And now, what are some cons of leveraging this tool? There are some potential drawbacks, which can include limited control of uptime and downtime of the tool. But that doesn't really affect me too much. Most tools will send out a thing and say, hey, we're going to be down for this time, so they can make their updates. Or of course, if something just goes out, I think LinkedIn may have went down recently. I was trying to access it, and I think this was last week, or I'm not sure if it's this week or that last week. But downtime could be definitely detrimental. So, but we have no control over that. Lack of customization. You'll see this in certain website platforms, that you might not be able to do things that you see other websites are able to do. So this is where you want to look at it and see how much can I customize it, maybe from an SEO standpoint, from a design standpoint, from a functionality standpoint. So those are kind of like the opening structure. Now we can kind of start diving in. So here's the moving forward small business guarantee. Leveraging technology will become easier if you commit to giving it a try and not shying away from it. So it's not going away. So we have to start to embrace it more. And the more we embrace it, the easier it is. I think of it like riding a bike for the first time, or driving a car for the first time. I remember before I started driving, it looked so difficult to me. And I was like, I'm never going to learn how to drive. This looks so incredible. There's cars coming from different directions. And you know what? The number one thing that was crushing me inside was, how do I keep the car in the lane? That was my biggest fear, was I wasn't going to be able to control the wheel. And that's because I never drove the thing. Okay. So, you just got to commit to using it. And then after a while, it can seem daunting at first, but then you're like, how could I have ever lived without this? Okay. So here's what we're going to learn in this workshop. We're going to talk about improving efficiency, stop wasting time on manual processes and ineffective collaborations. We're going to really focus on getting ahead of the curve, keeping up to date with the latest tools and technology to increase productivity, accountability, and the bottom line. We want to help reduce stress, leveraging new tools to reduce wasted time, take away that stress, and build confidence in the success of your business. And then finally, deep dives, how I leverage these SaaS tools for my clients and for my business. So some tools I don't use maybe for me, I might use for my clients, but most tools I use, for me and my clients, depending on their needs as well. All right. So here's a disclaimer. I use these tools regularly, and some of these might have affiliate links to them. But it's again, because I realize that these tools are valuable. Like I said, I'm not only the hair club president, I'm also a client. I am a client of every tool that I'm going to show you here, because those tools are very valuable to the success and the growth of my business, and the success and growth of me as an individual professional. All right. So now let's go ahead and get into our first tool, which is Cascade. And Cascade, I use this specifically for strategy, for building strategy. Okay, so it's rated as the #1 execution platform. It's easy to use for planning, executing, measuring, and adapting strategies. This button will be, when you get the replay and the deck, all these buttons on here will be active, at least the one to your left. Okay, so let's take a look at what that means. So how do I use this tool? It helps me get a focus and alignment. That way I can reach my results faster. It helps me get everybody else on the same page and get everybody focused towards the same vision that we're trying to do. Everything is all in one place. It brings the team together. It adds a huge level of accountability. When we talk about strategy itself, when it comes to implementing strategy and seeing success of the strategy, I think the number is 9 out of 10 businesses that actually create a strategy usually don't hit their mark or fail with that strategy. 9 out of 10. Okay, so this really helps build alignment and accountability so you can follow through and get that strategy. And then, of course, you can say goodbye to your spreadsheet. So if you're using spreadsheets for every aspect of how you're tracking data, this will make life a lot easier. And you can even still use those spreadsheets, just pull that data into Cascade, and then so everyone has access to it. And also you can create some incredible charts with it. So here's a couple of screenshots. This is a quarterly board meeting update, which is kind of a high level thing where you can pull things like your plan overview and your focus area to the left, upper left. You can see where your revenue goals are in the middle, upper middle. You can see, let me back up there. I didn't want to go back there. You can see the plan as a pie. So you can see, green stands for, we're on schedule. Yellow means that we're behind schedule. Red means this is at risk. The blue means that it hasn't started yet. So this is how you can kind of get an idea of how the strategy is doing, especially if you're tracking your strategy over a year. And you can look at the bottom left, you can see the subject overview. And again, at that bottom right, you can see things that are at risk. So you can be proactive of going, all right, what's going on? Why are these goals at risk? Why are these focus areas at risk? And what can we do to get them into the green? Another one might be a team meeting. So you can build various different boards into this tool to allow you to see what needs to be disseminated and to who. Okay, so let's quickly look at the tool. And so I'm in the back end of Cascade. So you can see you've got home, you got plan and teams here. You got the dashboards, you got reports, you got integrations. So whatever integrations, I think based on your level, you can have up to almost 100 integrations on the Cascade tool. And you have alignment. And alignment is really about, how does one thing tie to another? So we know it's always contributing to the vision of the company, and a vision can be something that is 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, but we still need to track that towards that vision. And we can do that with alignment here. Now, the cool thing about this tool is it is free, and I think you get 2 dashboards, you get unlimited plans and teams, I believe. So you can use this tool without having to pay for it. So if we come over here, if this was you, if your name was Darren, You can look at your upcoming goals. You can look at your upcoming work. You can see your recent notifications here. Let's see if we clicked into one of these here. So you can see that green line represents that we're moving forward. And since it's green, that means we're actually okay with that particular task. So we can click into this, and to the right, we can see that we're on track. So it's letting us know we're on track. We can also see the details. We can see what success criteria are contributing to that. You can see that, developing and launching an AR and VR shopping experience, we're green, so we're 34% with that. We're 100% on developing a plan to increase the site. They're looking at increasing the daily average, so we're behind there. We're supposed to, they're at 800,000 out of 1,500. And like I said, this is data we're able to pull in from somewhere. We could enter this data manually, but if we're able to pull in from, say, our Google Analytics, now this is all automated. So now you see all these different things that can be contributing to, to pulling into this one unit that we can see the entire process. We can click on updates and we can see if there's any updates. And these could be notes that other people are leaving for us. And then we can also see risk. What are things that could derail us? What are things so you can add risk here, and then you can kind of look out for them, especially if you have a past history with this particular type of task or whatnot, and go, this is something that could become an Achilles heel for this particular task. So we can look at our plans and teams. And we'll click here so we can see our teams, we can see our plans, and this is where you start to add accountability. If you're going to make all these incredible goals and all these, and you want this vision, well, somebody's got to be accountable for it to grow. They say execution is the problem, and alignment is the reason. So without aligning it with the right people, you're going to have a hard time achieving those goals. So you can kind of see, the leadership. You can build your teams. You got your leadership team, your HR team. That also depends if you're a solopreneur, then of course, you're not going to have as much here, but you have the ability to make these adjustments. So let me just go to dashboards here real quick. And then we're going to move on to our next tool. And this is why we're not going to go into every tool. I pulled screenshots on a number of them here. So, some dashboards, I got a financial metrics dashboard, an operations dashboard. So let's click on the operations dashboard. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, and you can build these any way you want. So it's pulling in data based on what you need. So you can see, it looks like they're reducing carbon emissions, so they're tracking that. They're looking at the number of bikes delivered over a certain period of time. They're looking at the budget utilized. The average delivery time is 2.8 days. I mean, so you can track so much. The national supply goals, the APAC supply goals, revenue by region. So you can definitely get very granular here with how you want to track things. So we're going to come out of here and let's go back in. So let's look at our next tool. So our next tool is called Sunsama. And it's really, for me, it's for time blocking. And this is for me, I really wanted to get a handle on my time, how I leverage my time so I can be better at it and I can deliver more on it. Now, this tool is actually relatively new to me. I ended up searching out a tool because I did have a different tool that I was using to time block, and it just couldn't do what I needed to do it. And at the end of the day, I just realized it's better for me to just find another tool. And so this is the one I found. It's a powerful tool for guiding daily planning, helping businesses stay on track and increase productivity. So it's a daily planner for the busy professional. And here's what I used the original tool for, but now I will use this one for and be even more focused on managing my time as the leader or the founder and CEO of Moving Forward Small Business. Of course, time management to increase efficiency and productivity by creating an optimal plan for each day. And I'm going to show you my calendar in a second. Staying organized with all your work obligations at your fingertips and prioritize the most important tasks first. And that line, to prioritize the most important tasks first, is really where I was having a problem with the other tool, because I'm responsible for a number of focus areas and goals. And within that, it could be membership, it could be program creation, sponsorship, all these things. But within each one of those buckets, I have a million things I need to do. And I'm like, how do I figure out which one of those things, when I am going to focus on partnerships, should be considered first? I got to go through all my notes across my note-taking unit, the crap all over my desk. I like this tool to be able to go, all right, if you're going to focus on partnership creation, here are the top things out of the 8 things. Here are the top 3 things that you have identified as the most important. And then I can go ahead and attack that, and I can feel more productive. And again, that's contributing back to that big picture here. Automation, you get those reminding emails or pings that certain deadlines are coming up. So, when you're super busy, you need those act as really great crutches to help you stay focused, but also stay on time so you can deliver on time. And then customization, it has some really great customization structures that we can actually leverage as well. So this is a screenshot of it, and what I'm going to show you my blocking calendar. I'm going to show you the one I had from the last 3 months, which was fourth quarter of 2022, and how that works in here. So you can create blocks, and then then what I want to do is pull tasks into those blocks. So when it comes to that block of 90 minutes to work on something specific, I can start to pull from here. Now, there is a level of flexibility that I will also be able to do with, of course, you're talking, I don't work 24 hours a day. I work maybe 20, I don't know, maybe a little less, but it really does help me get a lot more focused. So this is my calendar, and this was my last, like I said, the last quarter of 2022. So, and it included things like business plan review every month, every Monday morning, programming, outreach, prospecting, membership, team meetings, plans. I even left time for buffering. That means that, I can either have some free time, or I can work on something that I didn't complete, and then I even schedule in training so I can continue to learn. So that's a part of, my daily structure. I got a little bit of time for email and lunch, and there's a few times where I don't follow this list, and that could be when I'm traveling, I'm speaking somewhere, or those are pretty much the 2 main things, or there's something family related I have to deal with. But besides that, I try to stick to this. And am I 100% on it? No, I'm not. But it has helped me really focus on staying on the path, so I can get the right things done. So now I combine this with the new Sunsama and create my 2023 quarterly goals, get those into this new tool. And I'm excited about, continuing to see the progress that we're seeing with moving forward small business. And as I share this with a lot of my clients and of course, prospects as well. Okay. So now this here, Cascade is my jam, but that's the jam. This is the jelly. Okay. So one is peanut butter, one's jelly. So let's not do jam and jelly. Let's do peanut butter and jelly. They're the peanut butter. Anywhere to me is the jelly. This tool, we're going to dive into this tool, and I'm going to show you some really cool things that this tool can do. I love Anyword. Okay. It's an AI writing tool that provides business owners with a wide range of powerful tools to optimize their copy. I've been able to crank out amazing copy over the last 2 months. And I mean, I've been using Anyword for about a year now. And I think they have a free version that's very limited amount of words, or at least they have a 14-day trial or something to that effect. Okay, we're going to go into this tool, and I'm going to show you a few things real quick. And this tool was really one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do this particular webinar, because this thing is just so amazing. Okay, so let's just talk about some of the things that it can do for me. It's hassle-free writing. Don't waste time crafting your own content or hiring writers. Let the AI take the hassle out of creating the copy. Now, I write content for a number of clients, and of course, trying to keep up with writing content for my own organization. And they always say the cobbler has the worst, shoes on, because, we focus on our clients so much that we neglect ourselves. But that is no longer an option in 2023. It wasn't an option in 2022. we have to do better at, if we're considering ourselves experts, we're considering ourselves thought leaders, we have to be producing content that positions us in a way that that people see that. They can't, you can, but I would prefer you not to, be saying I'm a thought leader, I'm out there, but you're not producing content and educating the people that you're saying you're supposed to be educating. Only when you're speaking to them, we have to let the content do all the heavy lifting for us. It can boost your conversion rate, convert more customers with the power of AI writing. You could see an average increase of 30% on your conversion rates, and then you get results faster. This particular tool has a scoring system to it that really allows you to see how effective can these titles be. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like here. So we're going to go into AI. So this is AnyWord. I'm in the back end. And so I'll just give you a quick break. We got the home page, which is what we're on right now. We have data-driven editor. So we'll look at that last. We got the blog wizard. And these guys are constantly updating. I think I saw an email come in today about something cool that they just added to this platform. And I can't wait to go read it because I know it's something I'm going to love. And then you got website targeting message. And this one's new. So I only recently started playing with this one. We're going to focus today on these two. So the blog wizard. So if you happen to be writing for other people, you can actually create accounts. So these are all the accounts of projects I write for. Some of them are my companies, some of them are clients, some of them are entrepreneur. Like I write for entrepreneurs. So I have a folder for Entrepreneur Magazine here. I have a one for my strategy because I have within Moving Forward Small Business, I have the strategy. So I want to write content in general for Moving Forward Small Business, but I also want to write stuff around a strategy that I've created that I want to adopt for 2023. So I treat those independently because the content might be a little bit different. And maybe there's a focus to this strategy where I want a specific call to action that I want to use. Okay. So let's look at Moving Forward Small Business. So if I click on here, blog, I can see all of the blog articles that I've written using this tool. Now you'll notice there's one called the 9 tools needed to be used in your business in 2023. This is the blog that I use to create. So I'm going to tell you the evolution of this. I decided I wanted to do an article around SaaS tools that help small businesses like everyone on this call or watching the replay. So I went in here and said, I want to start with a blog. So I had the blog created. Okay. And then I said, originally it was 5 tools. I said, there's other tools I want to include. So I want 9 of them. So I chose 9. So I'm going to click in here and show you what that looks like. Okay. Now, then, of course, I wanted to choose only tools that I personally have a relationship with because I want to talk personally of these. And here they are. Okay. So this was the original content before. So I'll take you through my workflow. So I did this yesterday for a colleague of mine to show her the focus of this. So I'm going to delete this. So let's just say I wanted to use Monday.com. So right now I can see that this article is 2,400 words. All right, so that's pretty deep for an article. I could trim that down if I wanted to. I come over here, I can see what the brief was. A blog post about my recommended tools you should be using in your business in 2023 to increase productivity, accountability, and your bottom line. So that was my trigger to get this article started with this AI tool. And then, but instead of letting it choose my topics, I chose my topics. So let's say I wanted to do one more and I'm like, you know what? Next year, I'm going to upgrade this to 15 tools. So I want to talk about Monday.com. So, all right. So I go Monday.com. And so right here, if this was a topic like 6 ways that you can, so let's say 6 ways to find the best SaaS tools. Now I'm going to let the tool, now I can direct them and go, don't use this specific tool or include this specific tool. But for this, what I want to do is I'm going to say, only use bullet points. Because I just want to list. Okay. That's the only thing I'm going to tell it. Click generate. Let's see what it comes up with. Boom. 6 ways to find a tool. 1, research what your competitors are using. 2, understand what you need. 3, read reviews. 4, take a trial. 5, ask your network. 6, compare features and prices. Bam, just like that. If I don't like it, I come over here and I say start over. Or if I want to add more, I just click continue. If I only wanted this to be 200 words instead of 300 words, I say limit to 200 words. Okay, so that's one way I would do it. But let's go ahead. I'm going to keep that because I like that. So I'm going to probably add this to the blog. But again, so let's say I want to add another tool that I'm familiar with. So let's just say monday.com. I want to use a tool that for project management. So, but instead of trying to have it pull, I'm going to go, I want you to reference the actual page. So I'm going to go http:/monday.com because I want it to pull directly from that. So I'm going to go and generate instructions. So it's going to go to that home page. Now, if it's another page within monday.com, I want the exact URL, the page that I want to leverage. So this is great if you're doing, say you're doing affiliate content you're creating. You can have it create content around the affiliate page you want to drive traffic to for affiliate income. Okay. So now we're going to see this working in a second. Give it a minute. And it's going a little bit slow because we're zooming. Come on. There we go. So now I can review this. So these are instructions that it's now telling Anywhere to do. So I can go, yeah, I don't want to talk about this one. So I'm going to remove that. So I don't want it to take that into consideration. I'm going to go, okay, I'm fine with the rest. Let me click approve. So now there's my AI instructions. Now I can click generate and now wait for it to generate the information for this paragraph about monday.com. And there you go. Monday.com is a powerful, user-friendly platform designed to help you manage projects and departments. So now I could take this page, so I might add something to it. Maybe I'll add a personal note to it. Maybe I'll delete a section that I think that I don't need to have in there. But what I normally do now is I'll copy this, then I'll drop this into a Word document. And that's where I'll finalize the document by optimizing it before I upload it to my WordPress website. And then I'll add links like my affiliate links. So I'll affiliate link, I might affiliate link the name of the company, or I might link to maybe a specific keyword that, to kind of really give to give more focus to a specific keyword. So that's how I would do that. So now if we look back at this article, so what I did from here, I took the article and I uploaded it to my website, so after I optimized it, I put it on the website, and then I copied it and put it into my LinkedIn newsletter. And here's the cool thing. You can't have duplicate content of a same article. But the cool thing about LinkedIn newsletters is LinkedIn newsletters are not considered duplicate content. So now I can duplicate this in my LinkedIn newsletter, which goes out to everybody subscribed to my newsletter. So that's another win. And then I took the article and then I turned it into a presentation, which is what you're on right now. Now I'm going to chop this up after this conversation, and I'm going to put this into our membership site of tools I recommend, but I'm going to break it down by each tool. So I'll end up with 9 videos. That's kind of like a small little training course on working with specific tools. So you see how all the stuff I get out of it, I can even use it on social media and just take a piece of it and put it up and drive traffic back to the blog post, drive traffic to my membership site. There's so many things you can do with that one piece of content. I think people write a blog post and then they call it a day. There's so much more you can leverage here. Okay. So that's how I leverage this one piece of tool. And what it would, how much time it would have taken me to create all that without this AI tool? And people are, the talk is, is AI going to take our jobs? Not, as far as I'm concerned, not necessarily. And it's because the tool is only good as the person using it. So if you understand how to use it, you're going to have to still input the data and determine what's the outcome I'm looking for. So at this point, the tool is really meant to support the industry that at the end of the day, they think that you're going to replace. Now, yes, if you're mediocre at creating things. Like I got an email yesterday about somebody offering to do content writing for me, at $99 per 1,000-word article. And I already knew that they're probably not going to write it the way I need to, and it's going to cost me more time to fix things in the article and communicate with them. I'd rather use Anyword or bring somebody on that I like the way that they think and write. And that's the next step for me, is to have somebody replace me in this content part here using Anyword. So one other part I'll show you about this. So let's say I wrote the article, right? So I put it on LinkedIn newsletter. I have it on my website. Maybe I want to do a post on social media. So I click on new documents. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I want to write some bullet points for why you should attend this webinar. So what I'll do is I created, of course, a landing page for the webinar. I'll go to landing page and I'll click landing page benefits. And then I create this. The name of the product is this webinar, and then some information about it. And it's going to give me bullet points. I'm not going to push this through because I'm going to show you a different thing. But let's come back here. And let's say, I want to do a post on LinkedIn. So I come in here, new document. I'm going to show you all the different ways you can write. Let's click on all. So I can do Facebook ads for it. I can do Google ads for it. I can do Twitter ads. I could do LinkedIn ads, improve the existing text of an ad. I can just do, where is it? Let me click on social media. So this tool I use all the time. LinkedIn post, cut through the noise. So I'll click on here and then I'll say, what do I want to post about? So I'll grab the first paragraph from this article. Command C, drop it into the tool. And I might say, please, I don't have to say please, I'll just say, start with a question. I always like to ask a question when I post on social media, so it gets them to say yes or no. And click generate. Now I can choose down here, do I want 3 copy variations or 1 copy or multiple copies? So it's generating the copy and boom, look. So here's what happens. So now it gives me 3 ideas of post. Say I like one, but I don't really like it. I can say more like this post. I can try to improve the score. Now here's the score. So it's saying out of these 3 I wrote, this one has a 74% rate, engagement rate possibility. If I click on here, it gives me a little bit of info on who is the audience. So I can see the majority of the audience is 35 to 44. I can see that it's more focused towards the male tone. So maybe I want to alter it to make it more female toned and you can do this a number of ways. Okay. So this would be kind of hard to do. So say if you have a persona, you can actually create a persona that's targeting females. And now this will take this into effect when it creates this brief. Okay. So as a business owner, staying ahead of the curve is critical, but where do you start? So there's my question. And then here's a clue, start with the 9 tools we recommend. So it just saves you so much time. You're never staring at a blank screen. All right. So I'm going to come out of this because I could be in this thing all day. As you can say, I hope you guys are finding this valuable. Does this make sense to you? Is there anything here that you're going, oh, wow, that's really cool. Let me know in the chat. Okay. So let's keep going. Now let's talk about Ahrefs. Okay. So this is for website performance. This is for your website performance. Okay. And this is a free version. So this is another tool that has a free version. And we'll have a link to that clicked out here. And this is where you're gonna, now you could do a lot more with Ahrefs than I'm gonna show you, but the main focus here is, your website is your foundation for the world, beyond your back door. And if you're not sure how your website is performing or what issues might be plaguing your website to keep it from being showing up in organic search, you're kind of flying blind here. So here's how I use it for. I use it to find opportunities for growth through my website, quickly uncover opportunities for improving organic traffic and audit and content audits and broke link checks. And again, I use this for my clients and I use this for my website. You stay up to date on trends, keeps you up to date on industry trends using, you get your SERP reports, search volume estimates, and your traffic forecast. And you monitor your website's health, which is very, very important. The thing is, you can have a great following on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, but any one of those platforms go away, like MySpace, you've lost your audience if you built the majority of your audience there and you never migrated them somewhere, which is why, you hear people every now and then, you'll hear someone go, the website is dead. I don't think it will ever be dead. Maybe another replacement will come along, but you need to own the foundation. And your website, you own the foundation. So you need to treat that well. And you need to not disrespect that. Okay. So let's go back into the tool and let's look at what that would look like inside of Anyword. So this is actually a client that I have permission to show. They're a vending machine supply company out of Georgia, and they sell vending machines across the United States and South America. So they're two target locations, or the United States and certain parts of South America. They do this. Here is a kind of like, under the free version, you can kind of get an idea of what your URL rating is and your domain rating is. You can see how many backlinks you have to your website. You can see how many referring domains. That means domains that are referring back to you. So where you can get some traffic. You can see the amount of keywords that you're ranking for. They rank for about 6,300 keywords currently. Since this report was ran, we picked up 69 new keywords. Okay. Their organic traffic usually ranges between 25 and 40,000 hits a month. So there are about 25,000 hits this month. Now imagine 25,000 clicks directly to your website on a monthly basis. They don't really have a problem meeting their sales quota, or they don't, or having their pipeline full. And this is the estimated cost of that 25,000 traffic based on the keywords they're ranking for. $37,000 a month. If they had to pay for Google ads to get the same amount of traffic, they'd be paying $37,000 every month for that traffic that they now get, quote unquote, for free, because their website is really, really optimized. Okay. So that's one thing you want to look at. You can click in and look at the backlinks, who's linking to you. And this is a big one, because when I start to work with a company, I want to know, I'll ask you for your, just from your domain name that currently exists. And I want to know who you think your top 3 competitors are. And this is why I see a lot of people get it wrong. They're like, oh, well, Lisa's Pizza and John's Pizza are my competition. And then when I go look at their online presence and like their websites, and I don't mean just their social media, but I mean analyze their website and then look at their traffic, similar to this, the search traffic, I see they're not doing well at all. They're doing actually worse than you. We need to find people that are doing better than you, businesses that are doing better than you, because there's an opportunity to learn. So I would click here. So now, since I have their domain name, I can click on competing domains. Okay. Or let's start with organic competitors. As you can see, it's in beta. So this is something they just recently added. So this will allow me to see, based on the keywords that they're ranking for, who their real competitors are online. And I'm looking for ones that are crushing it, so I can start to put them on my list to watch and break down their strategies by looking at their websites and seeing what are they doing that's really helping them win, so we can do something similar. So now I can see the top domains. So now, before, I might not have known about global vending groups, but I may have known about discount vending. Now they're on my list to watch. Okay. Vending.com. Now, if I come over here to the right, I can see, keyword overlap. That means how many keywords are unique to the competitor, how many keywords do we have in common, and how many target unique keywords should we be looking at. Okay. Now let's come all the way over here to value for a second. Now I can see the value of their traffic. This vending.com, their value is almost $100,000 a month, if they were to pay for the traffic. Now we're only at 37,000. So this produces an opportunity for me to really put vending.com on my list and go, what are they doing to win that big? Okay. So this is one way I would leverage a tool like this to start to gather insight for free for my website. And also to see, and let's say your website is new, so you have no traffic. That's fine. What you're going to do now is you're going to pick a great competitor that you know is crushing it and use them as the baseline to find other competitors. Okay, so instead of you using your own website because you have zero traffic, you're going to use another website that you know has traffic and use them to kind of find out what keywords are we ranking for? What keywords are they ranking for? So if I come back up here to overview, let's go overview 1. I want to take a look. Let's just say that this was not my website. This was a competitor's website. Let's click on the keywords of that competitor because my site has 0 visitors a month, or maybe 5 visitors a month. Let's click here. Let's get this to go. Come on. Bear with me a second. So I can see the keywords. I can see one of the keywords is vending machine for sale. I can see that the average volume is 88,000 searches a month. I can see that the keyword density, and don't worry about these numbers right now. I actually have a training that walks through all of this, but the keyword difficulty to rank for this is 50, but I can see we're in position 5. That means on page 1, we're in position 5. We want to be on page 1 because that contributes to a lot of traffic. So this is the potential traffic I get from that one keyword. Because of out of the 88,000, I'm getting about 4,000. If I can get this to positions 1, 2, or 3, that's going to double or triple or even quadruple, because positions 1, 2, or 3 are your or what you strive to be in, and then positions 4 through 10, you're still on the home page, but the objective is how can I get this page to rise? Now, here's a funny thing: vending machine for sale and vending machines for sale are 2 separate keywords. They're not the same one with an S on the end one. They're 2, and combined, they represent almost 150,000, 160,000 searches a month. And I'm in position 6 for that. And I get 12. And so you can see I dropped down 1 point, and you see my traffic went down just a little bit. If I can get these keywords to go up, and this is how I make decisions about content creation or optimizing a page and trying to win more traffic. So that's a little bit on that tool there. Okay. So now let's go to another great tool that I love using. It's called SEMrush. Now, SEMrush is similar to Ahrefs, but different. They both bring different things to the table, so I use them both. Okay. But SEMrush, the one thing I love about SEMrush is what their topic research tool. Okay. Now, this is leveraging technology to take the pain off of me trying to find things that people are searching for instead of assuming that I know what people are searching for. So SEMrush helps you increase your reach and develop successful digital marketing strategies using reliable, industry-leading metrics that are used by digital marketers around the world. Let's go into that. So how do I use this tool? I use this tool definitely to create valuable content, to increase visibility, and to keep tabs on performance. Okay, so you can kind of read through this a little bit more later, but we're going to go back into the tool and I'll show you specifically. Let's close these. We don't need these anymore. So now I've got the topic research tool up. So if I come here, this is the SEMrush tool, and there's a free version to this as well. So you can use it. You know, when you sign up for SEMrush, you just don't enter a credit card, and then it automatically revert you to a free version. Okay. But you can check SEO, local SEO, advertising, social media, content marketing, trends. Okay. And depending on your level of your account, you'll have access to some of these or all of these, but you should have access to SEO, local SEO, advertising, some level of social media, and I think some level of content marketing. So we're just going to focus on content marketing. So the first thing we have is a topic research. So let's say I was in yoga and I provided yoga mats. I wasn't a yoga studio, but say I have yoga products, okay, that the studios or people can buy for their homes. So I typed in yoga, and now it's going to give me an overview of all the subtopics under the keyword yoga: high blood pressure, mental health, weight loss, hot yoga, healthcare, Bikram yoga, Hatha yoga. I don't even know what that is. So many different types of yoga. So you might go, ooh, I do a lot of stuff around this type of yoga. Let's click on this card. And here's what you're going to see. If people type in this keyword in relationship to yoga, here are the top 10 articles that show up. Position 1, position 2, and 3. These are our coveted areas. You got position 4 and 5. Now remember, I was in 5 or 6. So this is page 1. So now you can kind of see it's kind of difficult to rank. It's 60%. If I want to break in a new website, I'm looking for difficulty ratings at around 30 or less if I want some easy wins. Okay. Now, here's the cool thing. If you look to the right, here are all the questions being asked right now about all the questions that are being asked right now about this type of yoga. Okay. You can look at the what questions. What is Ashtanga yoga? What is the difference between these two yogas? What is Ashtanga yoga's primary and secondary series? You know, what are the benefits of practicing? So if you can answer some of these questions, and here's the how. How do you practice? How do you get started? How do you become an international yoga instructor? If you can you explain the 8 limbs of, you know, this is where you start to get your content ideas. Now you take this information and then you go over to AnyWord, and you can either tell AnyWord, I want an article on that explains the 8 limbs of Ashtanga yoga briefly, and have the tool. And if you have some experience in it, so you can help guide, oh, I don't want to mention this. I'd like to add another section. I want to add a conclusion. You can work these tools together and start to really create content that people really are looking for, which helps you make sure that you're being found for the right things. Okay. So this is one incredible way that you can start to look at this. And let's look at hot yoga. Click over here, which has a higher volume. And I'm pretty sure that the difficulty rating jumped to 70. So there's a lot of competition. But you can see the top 8 articles, so that you might want to go click on that page and see what that page is about. So if you see that you're not ranking, and this is a blog post, it looks like, that's ranking in position 1. Now you see how well that article is written. They got H2s, they've got quotes, they've got images, they've got tons of outbound and inbound links. You know, this person did a great job of writing this article. And so if your article is 2 paragraphs about hot yoga, now you know I need to step my game up. I need to have, I want to know how many words this article is. So let me move this out of the way. I'll look at a tool that I have called Keyword Minion, and I can see that this article is roughly around 1,900 words. Okay, 1,900 words for this article. So now I know I need an article to be at least 1,500 or higher to compete with this, so I can start to show up on page 1. So you might look at every single one of these to kind of see how is it ranking. And what I love about this is not a big company showed up, a blog post showed up. Okay, now I got to determine how this blog post got there and how can I, build content and overtake that. So that's how I would leverage specifically. And there's a couple other tools. There's the SEO content template. Say you decide you want to go for the hot yoga, you can create a template. You can use that inside of AnyWord. Or if you do happen to have writers that write for you, you can send that template to them and go here, or here's the article that I want. Here's the main keyword. Here are the the semantic keywords that I want you to use as well. So that's enough on this tool. So let's keep going. All right. So now I'm going to talk about Trainual. Trainual is used to help you create standard operating procedures, and it can track people going through this process. Okay. So Trainual is the only tool that cuts cost of recruiting, training, hiring, retaining, and ongoing training. Okay. So it's specifically for, housing, how you run your business. So you don't have to keep training people over and over again and wasting your time. You create a system and you put that system inside of Trainual, and Trainual will allow you to manage training people, so you're recording all your processes. So it speeds up your onboarding. You can manage your SOPs and your training, and it makes it easier for you to start scaling, because in 2 years, 3 years, you don't want to necessarily be the one doing the hiring. You want to turn that over to someone else as your company grows, so you can focus on, again, delivering on that big vision. Okay. So these are some things that I use the tool for. I have a couple of clients that are actually using Trainual right now as well, so they can start to, they have, one of my clients she has a very high turnover rate. So now this tool helps eliminate the fact that she has to keep, training people over and over again. Now, of course, we got to work on that whole issue around high turnover rate, figure out what that's about. But again, at least now she has a system in place and she's able to use it and go, all right, here's how we do this. Here's how we manage new clients. Here's how we focus on, here's our structure on posting on social media, and all these things. The more of this you can put into play before, as you start to grow, the easier it is to grow, so it's, so you might say, when's the right time to do some of these things? And honestly, the sooner the better. So here's one screenshot of what that might look like. And so you can see the completion rate. So say you add 3 or 4 new trainees to this, you can see if they've completed the training or not. Have you read the employee handbook? Well, I don't have to ask you that. I can see if you've read it or not, because it's in our Trainual platform and it's been digitized, so we can see how well you're doing with your, whether it's a new hire or you rolled out a new product or service or new or something, and you want to create training around that and run your team through it so they understand it. Maybe it's a new way of communicating with new customers, new leads, and we've developed a new system. You can put that in Trainual as an SOP, and now you can make sure that everybody properly goes through it and signs off on the fact that they should know what they're doing. Here's another variation of what that looks like. This one is 2020 Trainual new employee onboarding, lunch and learn archives, marketing. They have something for the marketing team, operations. Now, I'm not going into some tools because I have some personal data in there that I really can't cover up in live. So I decided to pull some screenshots on this here. So the next one is one of my favorites, is Otter.ai. It's a transcription. It's an AI transcription tool. It's a powerful transcription AI tool designed to make conversations more productive and efficient. There's a free version for this. So right now, Otter AI is recording this conversation that I'm having with you. So later on, when I sign off and I go back to business as usual, I'm going to get an email from Otter AI that has transcribed this conversation for me. Okay. So what do I use this tool for? I never miss a word. I easily refer back in real time to real-time transcripts of all your meetings and conversations. So this is also connected to my Zoom, which of course we're on Zoom webinar, but it's connected to Zoom. So it even records my meetings. So my meetings with my board, my meetings with potential customers, and I'll get an email, and I'm going to show you in a minute what it looks like, because there's a lot of really great value there. Even when I just want to talk and I don't really know what I want to say, I could open up Otter.ai and just talk, let it transcribe, and then come back to it later and clean it up. You can search, access, and share notes, and it just makes you more productive. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So we'll go into the tool for this. So this is Otter.ai, and this here is a free account. So I have certain limitations, but I can see I had a meeting with Brett Knopf on January 20th. I had a client meeting with Nice. I had a meeting with one of my partners at SBDA, Small Business Digital Alliance, about an op-ed that they're doing on me, and it was 26 minutes long. A client meeting. Here's another meeting, a couple meetings with partners. A meeting with Cascade. Here's a meeting with I'm a board advisor for Start Small, Think Big. Working on a potential project with the NBA. Here's that call. Okay. Now, if I click into one of these, let's see, I'll click into this one here. Okay. So if I click into it, a couple of things I can see. And again, this was auto-generated because it was connected to my Anywhere. Now I could do it on my own. I could record a video and drop that video into Otter, and it'll just transcribe the video. So it doesn't have to come from somewhere. I can just drop it in there. And so it creates an outline of the conversation, so I can actually jump quickly to different things. I can click and listen to the conversation. All right. So if I want to turn this into let's say it was something I interview people a lot. So I could take this and clean this up and turn this into a blog post on my website. Now it recognized me because once you say this is my voice, it'll tag you every time. Now it didn't recognize the other person. So this was Maggie. So I can go in here and say, type in the name Maggie. And now it'll pick her up. And everywhere it says speaker 2, you're going to get Maggie. If there's a third person, it would say speaker 3. And so now I can optimize this for all 3. Now, the cool thing is if on a paid plan, I can export this out as a SRT file and upload it if I wanted to use the video on YouTube or somewhere else, which I would do sometimes with an interview. So, or let's just say I just want to just record something on my own. So I come here, I click on, I can create folders. Some of them are clients, some of them are me, but let's just say I don't want a folder. I just want to record some of my thoughts. I click record, it's going to give me a new recording. And now my mic is live and you'll see it's recording me in real time because I just want to determine how I want to go about creating more content that's more effective than ever before for my target audience. And here are the 3 things that I think are going to be the most important for me to focus on. Topics that people care about. 2, topics people are searching for on the internet. And 3, having empathy in everything that I do. Boom, click stop, and that's recorded. Now here's the cool thing. How would I use this? So we got the phone. So I download otter.ai to my mobile phone. And if I'm walking through Manhattan, I could just open it up, record notes, and everything gets put back into this platform. So I can come to it later because I don't feel like typing it in actual Apple Notes. I might record it live and just talk and get my thoughts out that way. So there's so many different ways you can leverage this tool, otter.ai, and this is one of my favorite tools. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back into the presentation. We're almost done, folks. So Live Plan I love because Live Plan is a business planning software. Do away with the Word document based plans. Now, again, I took some screenshots of this one because there's some sensitive data in here. But Live Plan is a comprehensive business planning software that can help your business reach its goals and increase its chances of success. So here's a couple of screenshots. What I use it for, Live Plan makes planning easier. So I just picked up a new client just recently, and she wants to launch a new product. She wasn't determined. She was debating if she should include it under her current offerings or should she make a whole new company. At the end of the day, we decided that we should just keep it under the current company because it wasn't so much different from the other services that she offered, other than the name of the particular service. But if we had decided to go with a business plan, I would have leveraged this because, it also comes with templates based on specific industries. So you're not starting from scratch. And again, you're creating a business plan. Fail to plan to fail, fail to plan to fail. So you have to start planning. And this goes back up, this one is in a close alignment with Cascade, as Cascade is the strategy that you implement to make sure that the business plan, your focus of the business plan comes to life here. Studies show that companies that plan and track against their plan show 30% faster growth than those that don't. Again, if you don't, you got to really kind of determine, I need to start leveraging some of these tools. So here's a couple of screenshots. So, you're going to have to answer questions, execution summary, which is your opportunities and expectations, opportunities, execution, company, financial plans. So all this is done in real time. So if you look at the next screen, this is some of our offerings. And then, so we're putting in stuff like direct costs, personnel, expenses, assets, taxes, and that we predict over the next, you can set the time frame. You don't want to do your business plan for a year, 3 years, 5 years, and then it automatically sets it up. And now you get to put in, add your revenue stream. So if you know where you're going to be generating revenue, how you're going to, what are going to be direct costs if you have physical products. Most of my products are service-based, so I don't have a lot of direct costs other than, like maybe specific ad campaigns I might do for specific events and things like that. But you're able to add all this stuff in here, and then you can see your profit and loss, your balance statement, your cash flow, and everything is automated. And then you can share this with other team members, and you can share this with your board. You can give people access, and this helps just kind of bring things together. It's a business plan software tool, and all you have to do is input your tax rate if you're only going to sell in New York State or Texas or wherever you're selling in. And it does all the heavy lifting and does all the calculations for you. I remember doing this back in the day with spreadsheets, and it was a pain in the butt. Okay. So this is my number 8 tool, is business plan. Because again, if you look at my calendar, I showed you with number two, every Monday, I have 90 minutes to work on my business plan and kind of go, okay, everything looks the same. Oh, nope, we're not really doing this. We decided that this wasn't going to work. And I can kind of fix this so I can kind of stay abreast of how am I doing on my business plan in relationship to where I'm trying to go and where I am currently at. Okay. And then the 9th tool I want to discuss with you is a tool called Doodle. And I was turned on to this tool by a colleague, and it's a mass scheduler. So if you happen to be working with people, whether they're in your organization or outside your organization, sometimes you need to include multiple people, and everybody's calendars are all over the place. So Doodle is the fastest and easiest way to schedule anything. Professionals of all types, from entrepreneurs to freelancers and small teams to large enterprises, can use Doodle to get more done. Okay. So here's how I use the tool. I say goodbye to hassle. I use youcanbook.me for my calendar when people want to talk to me. So I send out a link. But when I need to schedule something with a group of people, I'll send them a Doodle. Okay. So it skips the back and forth emails to schedule meetings. Let Doodle automate the whole process. I'll show you a screenshot because, again, I had to do a screenshot because there's people's emails address that I can't show. Your team is on board. Get all your team on the same page. Everything is all in one place. Now, this connects to my Zoom as well. So when people book and I choose a date, it sends the Zoom link out, so I don't have to do it. You can create notes. So here's a screenshot. So this here, so I run an accelerator again in New York City. There were 23 people at this accelerator. Okay. We meet twice in person, and then we do 2 to 3 virtual sessions. So based on who shows up and so this is how I use it. This is one of the 2 ways I'll share with you. So with 23 people, imagine trying to schedule a Zoom call. So I created a Doodle and said, I'm available all of these days at this time, Monday at 5 to 6 or 6 to 7, and Tuesday, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. And then I invite everyone to the Doodle, and I go, you have to check off all dates you're currently open. And what I'm looking for is a day where I get the most people. And this poll actually is open. This poll closes tonight at 11:59. Okay. So right now it looks like Monday from 6 to 7 is winning. So if I get, however many more people get on here, I can now choose that, and it closes the poll. Everybody that said they can attend this day will get notified, get a calendar invite with the Zoom link. And then everybody else, I'll send the message out and go, we chose the date because I told them in advance, if we choose a date and you weren't on that date, you'll just have to watch the replay. Unless, of course, now that the date has been chosen, you can figure out a way to try to make it. But at the end of the day, it just cuts back and it just keeps things simple. And that's just what it is. Now, I also use this for my board of advisors. My board, and I have a board member on here, Gary. Thank you for being on here, sir. Love you, man. I send this out to them. These ladies and gentlemen are very busy. So I meet quarterly with them. So I'll send out a Doodle and give them, again, dates. So there's only 6, 7 people, 10 people, 9 board members and me. and we find the date that most of the board members can meet. Instead of doing tons of back and forth emails, I put a date. So, I try to put a date, because you cannot put a date and leave it open, but then it reduces the urgency, because the problem with not setting a date is if someone answers you immediately and then someone else answers the doodle a week later, well, there's a good possibility that the person that entered on the same day may not no longer be available at that time. So I put a date. So I go, look, we got 3 days to get this figured out. Choose a time so I can close it quickly. So I make sure that everybody that did pick this particular day is still available. Okay. So there's many great ways to use this. So this is an incredible tool to rally the troops. You could do this for internal teams or external teams. Okay. So now I got a few honorable mentions before we end out today. Mind mapping tools. I recently did a mind map, and I'm actually going to pull it up and show you, because I'm working with a number of different things with my organization. Updating our product offerings, determining what programs and services I need to work with, remembering who my partners are, and my strategic partners, and my clients, and my potential clients, and my business plan, and all this stuff. So I realized I had so much stuff going on that I needed a way to visually see it. So I used Mind Map, okay, which was free, and I'll show you mine in a second. And it brought so much clarity. It allowed me to leverage this to help finish out other things, like my strategy around Cascade, the launch of my membership, what to include in my membership, what I should start charging for versus keep free. And of course, video conferencing solution, like of course Zoom, Google Hangouts, and all that. Content management system, that at the end of the day is your website. I prefer WordPress, but I got clients on WordPress, Shopify, BigCommerce, Wix, whatever your cup of tea is, that's great for you. A project management app. Now, I showed you that little brief that I pulled in from Monday.com, but of course you got Trello, you got Asana. You should be leveraging some tool to start to keep you organized. And then we got our customer relationship management tool. It doesn't matter if you're service-based or product-based, you need to be leveraging some type of customer relationship management tool, okay? I use HubSpot, and so I'll show you the difference, how I might use HubSpot to communicate with someone versus my email list. I have a checkbox on a lot of my forms that says, would you be interested in, marketing material from Moving Forward Small Business around our events, blog posts, all this stuff. And if they check yes, then I can add them to my email marketing campaign. But if they check no, what am I supposed to do? Well, I still want to communicate with them. So then I add them to my CRM, and I just communicate with them directly through my CRM or through Google Mail, which I have a business Google Mail account, and it's connected to my CRM. So I can see our conversations until maybe one day they decide to join my mailing list and they can get more of the blast email, but I can still communicate with them independently, because it's not like I'm sending marketing message. I'm actually emailing them like I would email anybody, just to talk to them about something or get their attention. Okay. So let me come out of here. I want to show you this mind map, and I'm showing you because I didn't realize what I was creating until it happened. So I gotta give me 1 second as I figure out where it is. Let's do this here. And send only this. All right, let's send this here. Give me 1 second. Because I don't remember what and I just messed that all up. Okay, actually, is it here? Oh, here it is. So this is my mind map, okay? And this was done on mindmap.com, and it wasn't this complicated when I started creating it. I hope you guys can see my screen. Let me make sure you can see my screen. Yep, you can. Perfect. Okay, I started with the company, and then from there, I did company global strategy, the community membership, which is the foundation of it, and my business plan. So now you can see executive summary, opportunities, execution, company, financial. My company goals through Cascade, purpose, vision, mission, values, focus areas 1, 2, and 3. And then over here in the community section, I can see strategic clients, strategic partners, services, programs, all the different types of programs, accelerators, signature programs, low ticket items, free items, series. So now everything has to go somewhere. So I get so much focus on what am I missing and how am I messing things up? Membership, signature events, strategic partners, you know, digital mediums. This is meaning this, what are the channels I own? My website, my social media, third-party outlets, podcasts, Circle. Circle is going to be where we're going to actually do all the communication with our member base. We're going to use a tool called Circle. Okay. So this is another really great tool to kind of get a big picture idea and you build this out. This took me about a month and I'm still visiting it as I'm taking things and I'm moving it to other places. Okay. So I could take this and go, this doesn't go here. This goes here. And boom. Now it's a new thing, but it is not. So I'm going to put it back here. So it just allows you to move things around and go, yep, that doesn't belong there. Look here, 9 SaaS tools. That's a virtual webinar workshop. So, you know, so now I go through all the stuff I own and I categorize it. Now I can see a big picture of where everything fits and how I can take this to the next level. Okay. So, this is the blog post to this article that we just did today. All right, Elizabeth says using Circle now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I got a lot of really great feedback on it. So that's going to be what we're going to use to manage our membership and make sure that we create a lot of interaction with our members around the world. So this blog post will be readable. If you guys are looking for help leveraging technology to grow your business, again, so we're going to officially open up our membership, our new membership that we've updated on Thursday or Friday. It's called the Strategy, Alignment, and Execution Membership. And here are a few things that are going to be included in that. Monthly action plans, live training calls, live implementation trainings, which span 5 to 7 days every single month, and a coffee coaching and convo call virtually. And everything will be done on the Circle platform. So this is, again, how we're helping to structure ourselves, leverage technology, make it easier for our teams to get involved. I mean, our team to get involved, and our end users, our customers, our clients, whatever you want to call them, to be able to get a lot out of what we have to offer. You know, our vision is to support small business community, be the go-to strategy support system for the small business community. And our mission is to save 1 million businesses from failure by the year 2050. And so we need tracking mechanisms in place, and we need a way to be able to deal with that many businesses coming through our organization. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is through leveraging technology to manage this operation effectively. So, you know, so that's pretty much it. If you're interested in checking out a membership before we launch it, you can go to Moving Forward Small Business and then click on membership in the top menu. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you're thinking about some of the tools. If there's a tool you saw that you go, ooh, I really think I want to leverage that tool. We're going to be doing a lot of training on the back end, not just around strategy and alignment, but, you know, this type of stuff here, because this is the stuff that you got to put into your strategy, put into what you need to be working on. So you can become that strategy aligned professional that sees your business grow, even when we're going into things like a recession. You know, there's always opportunities, and I'm super excited about that. So I thank everybody for attending. I hope you found a lot of value here. Again, I would love any feedback that you might have about the tools, even about this presentation. You know, I don't take anything personally. The objective here is, if I don't ask you how I can help you or if I'm being of help to you, then, you know, I really want to be able to produce great content and support you. So, David, thank you. I appreciate that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And reach out to me via email. You'll get this replay tomorrow. You will also have access to the slide deck. All the links will be live, so you can click on it and look at these tools. And there'll also be a few other goodies on the page as well. So you'll get this tomorrow. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, please do so. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I will drop in into the chat real quick. This is the link to the membership if you want to just take a look at it and see what we have to offer. Without further ado, I give you back your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And tomorrow is February 1st, okay? Which means that we're now a month into 2023. How do you feel you're doing? And at the end of the day, I want to see you grow, and I want to see major progress from each and every one of you by January 1st, 2024. So we have to get serious on strategy in our business so we can see that growth. And Kent says, thank you, Jimmy. So sorry I had to join late. No worries. You're going to get the replay, Kent, so you'll be able to go back and watch it. And again, I'm highly accessible. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, have an amazing day and an incredible week. I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.